know that it's popular these days to blame men for a lot of the problems in the world. But the recent hashtag I saw, kill all men, is taking things a bit too far. I'm Lesli Dories, your marriage coach, creator of the Hero Husband Project, and owner of Foundations Coaching. And, I came across this hashtag in a blog post of somebody that I follow. And the guy who writes the blog post saw it and said something to his daughter about it because it was posted by a girlfriend of hers. And she said, "Oh, Dad, it's no big deal. It's just a fun way of telling of basically saying that women don't need men." And by the way, guys, this is not anything new. In the movie It's a Wonderful Life, which was made in 1946, right after the end of World War II, there's a line in the movie that basically says, "That's why all babies should be girls." And in the beginning of the women's movement, Gloria Steinem was notorious for saying that women need men like a fish needs a bicycle. Now, do we need each other? Yeah, actually, I think we do. And more than for just procreation. For anybody who's watched A Handmaid's Tale and doesn't like the fact that certain women were basically just incubators for babies, I think it's equally offensive to talk about men as if they're nothing but sperm donors. And by the way, if we want to make peace in the world, we have got to stop dividing ourselves. I want you to take a moment and imagine that that hashtag is kill all women. Would that be okay? Kill all fill in the blank. Would that be okay? And by the way, are men supposed to just sit there and go, "Sure, haha, real funny"? This is not helpful. Now, I know that whether we need each other. I mean, we actually do. Human beings need to be in relationship. We are not meant to be solitary creatures. And if you don't want to be involved in a romantic relationship with somebody of your own gender, which is fine, the other gender is the only other game in town. And if we're busy bashing each other, how are we ever going to make things work? In the immortal words of Rodney King, can't we all just get along? The fact is that there is no all men or all women. We're individuals that have strengths and challenges and positives and not so positives. We're human beings. And to pit us against each other and basically to tell half of the population that they're not necessary, I don't know about you, but I find that insulting. And I think that men deserve better. Now, my husband and I have had this thing for a long time where if I make a comment that's not a positive thing about men, he'll go, "Male bashing, pay up." Now, sometimes, most of the time, I'm not male bashing, at least not within the last 10 years, because I've been guilty of this myself. When we were the first couple of years that we were married, we had decided that we weren't going to have children for a while. So when people would come up to me and say, "Oh, so when are you going to have a child?" My snarky or witty in my mind retort was, "Oh, you mean another one?" implying that my husband was a child. My husband has never been a child. My husband has always worked very hard. He has always participated equally in the raising of our children and the running of our house. My son-in-law, who just became a father himself, is actively involved in the raising of their child. He is supportive of my daughter. My daughter is supportive of him. There is no you versus me. And this is what's causing so many problems in relationships. I have had more women than I can count basically say, "My husband is the problem, fix him," as if they have absolutely nothing to do with the state of their relationship. And quite frankly, pardon my language, I call bullshit on that. If you are in a relationship, you are participating in what it looks like. Maybe it's not 50-50, but you are participating. I actually had somebody tell me that she was furious with her husband because of the house they're living in. And I looked at her and I said, did you sign the mortgage? Well, yes. Okay, then. Where's her responsibility? I basically said, I said, did he have a gun to your head when you did? No. Then you own it. And it's not okay. And I'm tired. It's not funny to say things that would not be acceptable to say about any other group. Men, as a conglomeration, right? They're not all perfect. There are some that are great men who are very supportive, very loving, want to include everybody. Do we want to kill them? Do we think it's funny to joke about that? Words matter. Words are a reflection of your thinking and your beliefs. And so I'm going to challenge you anytime you look at another human being to find what is good about them, to find what is positive about them, because that's the way we move forward. And by the way, that's relational intelligence, right? Everybody has strengths. Everybody has challenges. Women do not have a monopoly on good relationships, on being able to do relationships well. They don't. There are a lot of women who make mistakes just like there are a lot of men. Because as I have said before, and I will say until they throw dirt over my face, nobody has to take a relationship 101 class and everybody should. Stop bashing each other. It is not men versus women. We are never going to get anywhere if that's the attitude we take. And by the way to invite somebody into a discussion is not to hashtag kill all men. That is not an invitation. I wouldn't blame men for being really pissed off about it. But guess what? They can't say anything. So I'm saying it for them. Knock it off. You can disagree with me, and if you do, love to hear about it, because I'll take you on this. And hopefully you will stop and think before you share, hashtag whatever, because hurting somebody else is not loving behavior. And with that, I invite you to, until next week, stay loving, and I do mean that.